Welcome back. It's time now to bring on Chris Jones. He's with Edward Jones. He's here to talk about investment risk tolerance. Hello, Chris.
Hi, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Thank you very much, doing well.
All right. So go ahead and tell me about risk tolerance. How much risk should you be accepting? That type of thing.
Sure, it's really going to be different for each individual investor, depending upon certain variables and factors. And I also would mention that I think risk also, another word to go by would be volatility. Risk sounds a little more dangerous, but again, it has to do with what their long-term investment goals are. So first talk about personality. I think you could look at each individual's own personality, and that in itself could maybe shape the type of investment risk that individuals might be willing to accept. I would also go by the time element. Usually the more time one has to invest, you can take on more aggressive investments because you've got more time. And then also conversely, if you have less time to invest money in, you probably want to be a little more conservative. But again, you just need to make sure you find the investments that you can tolerate and that won't affect you too much in terms of being too much emotional about it. And then mainly you also want to know what type of goal that you're setting in order to save for, and that will determine what type of investments you should put the money into.
All right, absolutely. So you talk about personality. So what type of personality would be better to handle some volatility?
I'd say people that are willing to take a little more chance in life. Some people tend to make decisions in life that tend to be maybe a little more aggressive type decision making. And then on the other hand, you've got some people that are always a little more nervous about things. So I think the personality could be part of it, but you just want to make sure you're comfortable within your range of what you're doing. But as I said before, when someone's younger, even today, when people retire, people are going to still be around for perhaps 10, 20, 30 years. So you never want to be too conservative, especially today with inflation at 40-year highs and with the intention that rates could be going up. So I think you need to look at overall every investment vehicle that's available to you that would be appropriate for your needs, and then try to weed out those that you consider to be too risky. To me, also, one of the biggest risks of all is simply not investing and not having a plan.
All right. So what are your tips for investing and having that plan?
The best thing I think people can do is set up a time with the financial advisor, one that they've got already, or set up with someone new, meet with them, go over what their current situation is, what their goals are, both short and long, and then try to come up with a game plan that would be appropriate based upon someone's risk tolerance, their time frame, and what their primary goals are. That way we can help come up with a game plan that will help them achieve both their short and their long-term goals.
All right. And your risk tolerance, how does knowing your risk tolerance, you just want to tell us, how does knowing that help you make the safer investments?
Well, I think when you fill out a risk tolerance, it pretty much lets you know the type of risk that you're willing to take. If you're more worried about investments going down, that would indicate that you need to be more conservative. On the other hand, if you've got more time on your hands, you should be able to take on a little bit more volatility, especially when you're investing for the long haul, like retirement, and making sure you can live within your means. But we need to allow for inflation and taxes. All those things need to be looked at individually to make sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself.
Absolutely. Well, it's important to talk about, so we appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much for coming out and letting us know about investment risk tolerance. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.